The most important thing we can do is to make sure we control our own energy. That's why we've doubled clean energy production like wind and solar and biofuels. And all these things have contributed to us lowering our oil imports to the lowest levels in 16 years.
Mr. Obama, I agree with you. So let's catch a wave for renewable energy. All energy is derived from the sun. Mankind only knows how to use 0.02% of the sun's energy. The oceans, because of their area versus the land, store 70% of the sun's energy on Earth. Mankind must develop the technology in order to take advantage of this wonderful resource. So what is renewable energy?
Renewable energy to me are different types of energy that can be harnessed from ongoing natural processes, which can be reproduced over and over again through the wind, sun, and in our oceans that are ongoing, and we simply capture and reproduce. It's not a one-shot deal.
What are the main types of renewable energy?
The primary types are nuclear, solar, wind, and wave energy.
Which source seems to be the best?
In my view, I would say wave energy. It has fewer downsides than the others. Solar obviously is dependent on the patterns of the sun and cloudiness, that sort of thing. Wind energy is valuable, but it also leaves a significant footprint on the environment. There are also emerging issues related to bird deaths coming from wind energy. And in terms of nuclear energy, we still haven't found a solution in terms of the byproduct waste that's produced. Wave energy doesn't generally have those drawbacks.
If this great resource exists, why haven't we used it?
Wave energy today is like air travel was 100 years ago. When the Wright brothers were working at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina to get their first plane off the ground, people feared traveling in air. 100 years from now, our ancestors will look at wave energy, just as we look at air travel today, as a necessary commodity, particularly in a time when we have little energy.
Today, I got an exclusive offer to tag along with Brian Cunningham and his team to test out his prototype at the United States Naval Academy. The barge is simple, robust, and can submerge and hover at 50 feet below the surface, where surface turbulence is substantially reduced. According to Brian Cunningham and his team, the results were better than they had hoped. So how does wave energy work? Wave energy is the result of the up and down motion of the ocean water along long stretches of open sea to create energy. The waves can be used to make barges oscillate 7 times a minute, and depending on local conditions, up to 10 to 20 feet. This oscillation then drives pistons between coils, thus creating electricity. The barges are anchored in approximately 150 feet of water depth to prevent the ocean bottom from robbing energy, which could otherwise be used to propel the barges. What are the bad things about using wave energy?
I've been working on this project for 10 years, and the only downside I've come up with is a slight impediment to navigation, and that will be easily overcome by radar detection and/or lights.
Well, wave energy is not without its shortcomings. For instance, the amount of infrastructure, what it takes to build and capture that energy is a very significant cost. So the payback in terms of recouping your benefits on it can be very long. Additionally, wave energy obviously relies on primarily the oceans, and there are large sections of the country without any ocean front. And the cost to transmit that power from the coast and build the infrastructure to transmit it is not insignificant. So those costs are the primary shortcomings of wave energy.
I rise today in strong support of this amendment to prohibit oil and gas drilling off the Oregon coast. As an Oregonian, I question why we would risk our pristine coast to support an energy industry of the last century rather than of the next century. Why we would subject our fisheries and visitor-based coastal economy to the dangers of a BP-style disaster in Oregon waters. We should focus on generating local jobs, not profits for far-off oil companies. We can create these local jobs by investing in the energy industries of the next century that are uniquely suited to the Oregon coast: wave energy and next-generation offshore wind. Oregon can be the Saudi Arabia of renewable wave energy. Wave energy depends on two things: big waves and seabed contours suited to exploit those waves. And Oregon has both. Oregon is the best place in the world where these two factors come together.
The reason that we should consider using wave energy as an alternative or complement to solar or wind energy is that wave energy is 8 times that of solar energy and 14 times that of wind. It is also more consistent than solar or wind. In short, more bang for the buck. The benefits of wave energy is that it's more cost-effective, creates jobs, and is more consistent than wind or solar. The oceans of the world are reported to store 2 trillion watts of renewable energy. This means that if we were to assign the actual U.S. consumer average price per kilowatt hour in 2009 to this energy, collected, it could be valued at $225 million per hour or $5.4 billion a day worldwide. Mankind has a choice: forget the 2 trillion watts of wave energy annually available, or begin an urgent, properly funded commitment to take advantage of this abundant, underutilized resource. Whether we choose to use this abundant resource that's underutilized, that's the decision for the government to make. I strongly believe that President Obama should consider taking advantage of this resource in 2013 because it is an abundance that we are not recognizing.